easy to just drop that and go, all right, I'm done with that.
No, it's not easy. You have to force yourself.
Right.
You know, I got to now give up this security blanket that I took a year to put together.
Do you ever go back to some of those jokes?
The only time I've ever done an old joke on stage is when a lot of people are yelling for a specific thing.
Oh, you're one of them.
But I don't. But I tried it. Like I don't want to, because I remember there was a comment one time after I did Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco. I did a couple of old bits because people were yelling them. So I said, okay, I'll do these. And then someone wrote in a comment thread either on the site or something like, I went and saw Patton Oswalt last night in San Francisco. What a ripoff! He just did stuff from his old album. He said he did this bit, and this bit, and then he didn't even do this one. So it wasn't that he was angry that I did old material, it's that I didn't do the old material that he wanted to see. So
his picks.
So you realize, there's no way to win doing that. So it's better just to go, I'm doing all new stuff.
Once in a while, you dip back accidentally, like a premise. Like there's a couple of premises that I go back into, like where I realize, that was kind of like a joke I did on my second CD, but now I'm going to this way with it instead of that way.
Yeah.
So it's a different joke that is like the first 30% is the same. Once in a while, you do that.
That happens.
But as a fan, I don't mind when you guys go, back to some of the older stuff.
Yeah, I just don't want the whole
as long as it's not the whole set. Right.
I don't feel good. I love dumping it, even though it's hard. I watched stuff from my last, and I'm like, I forgot I did any of that stuff. Like, I fucking block it out. It's done.
Yeah, sometimes I try to do an old bit, and then halfway through I go, I don't know.
You fucking forget it.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait a minute. What do I say? Oh, shit.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'll say openly to the crowd, like, I forgot how that goes. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, they appreciate that.
Yeah,
the honesty of it.
I tried.
People love when you fuck up and admit it. They love it.
Well, there's another part of the book, too, that I talk about as a stand-up. I don't know if you read that part where I had been doing stand-up for like 4 years, and on the East Coast, very road dog rooms. And in my head, I was very much like, I'm pretty amazing. Like, I'm a headliner now, man. And I was starting to headline on the East Coast a little bit. But when I mean headline, I mean they would just let me close out the show because I was willing to do it for $50 to say that I was a headliner. It was all ego. Then I go to the Holy City Zoo, and I do the open mic there. And that's another, like, very historical room. And I'm doing
San Francisco?
San Francisco. Yeah, the Holy City Zoo in San Francisco. And I've just moved there. Here's my big debut set. New comedian in town, guys. And I do all my killer road stuff, which is just the hackiest. See these tampon commercials on TV? You know what I mean? And I do this, Tampax, we're not number one, but we're up there. Like, just, And,
bunch of comedians in the room.
And it was all comedians. And it was all people like Greg Barrett, Greg Proops, Brian Posehn, Blaine, Jeremy Kramer, all these really amazing.
Seasoned.
Not only seasoned, but like, they're not.
Clever.
They're trying to do really original stuff, and they don't care about
stuff.
what just works no matter what, And I came from it. As long as you get laughs, doesn't matter. And it was so brutal. And then I went across the street to this Chinese restaurant called Taiwan, and I'm sitting with Blaine, and I'm just ripping pages out of my note, like, all this is gone. I got to start from zero.
Yeah,
I literally have no material right now. I just moved to town, and none of my shit works.
Yeah, there really is a difference between like the road but some people get so caught up in thinking like they don't know how to balance the road with the city.
Yeah,
and they try to be and they actually throw out funny things that are legitimately funny because they think it doesn't make them seem smart enough. And there's a line you got to walk where you got to realize you're not like Carlin didn't make his audience think he was smarter than them. You're not there to be more brilliant than them.
That's what I went too far the other way with place like that led to a place like the Largo, which was an amazing room, but then there were some people that they just got good at rooms like the Largo and they didn't do enough of the road. And you have to do a little bit of both. You got to do these great rooms like I'm paraphrasing Jerry Seinfeld. A room like the Largo helps you write, but a horrible one-nighter in Ponca City, Oklahoma helps you edit. So that's why whenever I'm getting ready to do a new special, I do the Largo, but I also go down to the Irvine Improv, which is in a strip mall in Irvine.
Oh, I love that room. Yeah,
me too. But they're like, hey, let's hear some jokes. Let's not hear you. Hey, you see that new movie? I mean, I don't know where this goes, guys. They don't want to.
Yeah, they don't want any fucking meandering.
They don't have time for that shit.
Yeah.
They just want the laughs.
So you want both.
Well, why don't we talk about the book? What's it about in general, just to get the gist out there?
It's an addiction memoir, basically, with no drugs or alcohol in it. It was me When I moved to LA in 95, I just started going to this place called the New Beverly, which is a movie theater. And I got obsessed with seeing movies 3-4 times a day. It was just non-stop. When I wasn't working at Mad TV, when I wasn't doing sets, I would just go because in my mind, first it started off, here's what happened. I started off going, I'll watch a lot of movies and I'll become a director. That's how I'll learn to make movies. I'll watch a lot of movies. Then it turned into, I had these 5 movie books. And whenever I would see a movie that was in one of these movie books, I had the Psychotronic Encyclopedia of Film, Cult Movies, Volume 1 through 3, and the Film Noir Encyclopedia. If I saw any movie in one of those books, I would check it off and write the date next to the movie.
Very OCD, by the way.
Not only was it OCD, but it was, I could not have a good set unless I did that. So I had to go search out these classic movies, get it checked off, and then I could go have a good set.
Wow.
So it was just this crazy, it was the guy, well, we're independent. I can't change my socks.
Yeah.
You know, it was this weird good luck charm, and it led me to, at one point I saw, there was a film festival going on of those Hammer horror movies.
Oh, the best!
Yeah, so amazing. Heaving bosoms, bright red blood. Well, they had a marathon starting at 8 a.m. at the Chaplin Theater at Raleigh Studios and going till midnight both days. So I went both days, just watched all of them. I'm checking all this stuff off. Wow. I'm going to, but I get to the point where I was like almost hallucinating. Like the movies all began to blend into one another.
Who's better than Christopher Lee? Who's better than fucking Christopher Lee in this Hammer
Peter
film?
Cushing.
Yeah, okay, good call.
Well, no, I'm just saying that my favorite moment is there's a movie called Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, and Peter Cushing is doing this. He's just sliced up this woman's husband, and she doesn't know. Like he's Dr. Frankenstein. He's just totally evil, and she's come by to. Have you seen my husband? He goes, no. I haven't seen her dead, but don't worry, I will certainly find her. And he's like being the sweetest old man, and he goes, well, I'll see you, and he bustles her out the door, and then he closes the door, and then just turns and goes, pack, we're leaving. And it's genuinely frightening. It's like a gunshot because he's being this sweet, and then he turns and he's just the most psychotic, evil. It's one of my favorite moments in a movie because it's also at the point in the movie where they know that the audience is getting a little fidgety. So let's just have our lead actor scream right at the camera as loud as he can. It's
a little jarring.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, what was that? So
did you run out of movies to see though? If you're doing 3 or 4 a day,
you ever see The Godfather?
The Godfather. I saw.
It's good.
Yeah.
How do you not run out of movies, though? I mean, it is L.A., so they have a lot more going on. But
L.A. and New York are the two places where you can never not have a movie to go see. Either something new, or they're running some class. They're doing a big festival of everything. New York and L.A. are the box sets of movie going. Where watch everything by this director for the next 2 days. We've got him. Here you go.
I went online and watched the first film ever shot because you talk about it, that 2-second.
Oh, in
the garden, something.
Rondelet garden scene.
Rondelet garden scene.
Oh, weird.
Real shitty movie. The sequel was much better. It's 2 seconds.
It's the first movie shot.
But Ernest Borgnine's great in it, though. He is good. He pops. You're like, that guy, he's going to be great.
The sequel was better because they added a laugh track.
Why only 2 seconds? The technology was that shitty?
Oh, it's 1888, I think,
1888.
Right?
And what is it? 2 seconds?
It literally is like people in a garden kind of walking, but one guy looks like he's maybe walking back. It's very weird.
Can we get someone on the computer and we'll show you? It's a very odd.
And it's 2 seconds.
2 seconds long.
It almost looks like a guy testing out the camera. Like, does this work? I'm going to watch the film. These people walk around, but it's just weird to see.
Why are they calling it the first film?
It was the first motion picture that someone
was ever taken.
Yes. They ever shot.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
And it was that. It's just weird to see people. It's like when you watch. If you go online, you can watch bloopers from 30s and 40s films. So it's weird to watch like Lou Costello go, fuck. Like you just don't expect to see that.
You never heard that.
Where have you seen that?
Oh, just go look at old like Abbott Costello bloopers. These guys.
Oh, wow.
It was all internal. They would put together the bloopers and show them to themselves at the end of the studios.
Christmas party, whatever.
So yeah, you'd see guys like, God damn it, what the shit, I fucked that up.
See that?
It's really weird. Like that's Abbott Costello cursing, But also to see a movie where it's 1888. It's the way. People
were
are
dressed and all that.
There's another movie someone shot in like 1908, and they sat on the front of a trolley car in San Francisco and just went down Market Street filming. So just people walking around, but they're in top hats and big hoop dresses, but there's just normal and it's so bizarre.
You're right.
To see that you're not used to seeing motion pictures and people like when they do it in movies, it's done up very big, like it's 1908. But these are people just kind of shuffling, just going through their day. It's not a big deal for them.
Why couldn't they figure out clothing back then to be more comfortable? I don't know. That looked really uncomfortable.
But I, based on what came before, that was comfortable as far as they knew.
Right.
That was, I'm just going to relax and put my top hat and my my tuxedo on. Right. Just kick back for a little bit.
No air conditioning.
The monocle. They couldn't figure out how to just have two and. We didn't have to switch your eye.
No air conditioning. No toilet paper. Like everyone just stank back then.
I don't get it.
Look up the first film ever done. What's it called?
Rondelay, Rondelay garden scene, and it's just people. And there's a money shot in it though. But it's,
yes.
By the way, how soon after they shot that did someone go, "We should film someone fuck"?
This is actually whether you knew that this is the second thing ever shot. the first one they just happened.
Oh my God!
Face Off
is getting the
there it is.
You can hear it.
Hey guys.
Yeah, I think the first one.
Yeah,
I think the first film's called "Balls on Thomas Edison's Chin."
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's being looped.
Yeah, that's just being looped.
Wait.
That's it. It's literally just four people. Chick has a top hat on, and it looks like William Frawley in the back with the fucking white jacket.
Yeah, but it looks like he's walking backwards almost.
Let me see. Run it through, Sam. Hit play.
Yeah. Don't run it like it's a Pruder film. Just run it. Well, now they're doing it frame by frame.
Oh. That is fucking weird, man.
Yeah, you can't tell he's do-si-doing. It looks like they're doing like a dance.
Oh, you know what? It does look like they're dancing.
Right.
But the lady dancing isn't really into it. She's just kind of standing in place, and he's trying to, all I want to do is zoom, 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 zoom.
The guy in the background is dancing around the women. Or maybe just the men are dancing, and the women are like, what the fuck are you doing? This is terrible. We're doing a circular thing, hun.
They've all been dead for over 100 years.
They probably died 2 weeks after they shot
exactly.
this.
Yeah,
back then, what was it, 40-year-old life expectancy?
Yeah, exactly. You'd eat a piece of bad pork at a restaurant, drop dead. People were, bad
really
pork.
Strange. So then, so you go to L.A. and you're obsessed with watching films, and then what? Well, how'd you get out of it, or you never really got out of it?
I got out of it because I went to see The Phantom Menace. And it was in 1999 to the day.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. It was May 20th, 1995 is when I started this. I went to the New Beverly and saw Sunset Boulevard and Ace in the Hole. May 20th, 1999, I went and saw The Phantom Menace. And it was awful. But then for weeks afterwards, I would get together with friends and we would all just run our mouths about how terrible that movie was. And then I realized he made a terrible movie. He also made great movies, and all we're doing is sitting here talking about it. I'm not doing anything. So and I realized I'm in the same place now. The first couple of years before I did stand-up, I would just sit around and bitch about how does that guy on TV? He's terrible. Right. But, why don't you fucking go do something then? So then it turned into like, okay, I got to start trying to. So then I started like writing screenplays, and nothing got made, but I'm trying.
At least you're creating something.
I'm trying to create something rather than. And I still go see movies, but I was the kind of guy, like, a movie should be like a glass of wine you have with your dinner. I was the kind of guy that was like, let me eat a roll and some ginger ale so I can lie my stomach, and then I can just drink this bottle of whiskey by myself. It's like, you're not enjoying this the right way.
Enjoying this.
You should have a shot with your steak,
right?
But you shouldn't eat the roll with the steak just so that your stomach doesn't burn. You're like, I got my whiskey now. That's how I was enjoying movies.
What was the funny line? You had a line in there about something about Van Gogh and how the people he was so they wanted Huey Lewis in the news, and they got Gigi Allen and the Murder Junkies. It was really funny.
He was I didn't know that for a while Van Gogh was a preacher.
Okay.
But he was of the I want to be like St. John, and he wanted to be like St. Francis of Assisi, just crazed filth. Total, and the flock was like, we just wanted a nice sermon, and you're up there screaming. So it was like, we'd love to hear I want a new drug, and you're doing I kill everything I fuck. I don't know what's going. This is my daughter's 16th birthday party. I don't know why you're, singing "Die When You Die." Can I just so?
Did he really fucking cut off his ear for a hooker? I knew it was a cut off his ear. I didn't know it was for a prostitute.
I don't know. I mean, from what I've heard, it wasn't his whole ear either. It was a piece of his ear. And he gave it to some people say it was a prostitute. Some people say it was just a woman named Rachel who lived in the town. Who then, after that, it'd be hard to date her.
No kidding.
You know, you bring her some flowers, she's like, no, it's not a piece of an ear, but I guess.
Is that ear still around somewhere?
Oh, that's a good. I don't know.
She probably threw it out immediately. That fucking Vinny creep gave me a piece of his fucking ear this time.
Look what Vinny did.
Some of that weird shit is still around. You know, body parts and stuff.
Isn't John Dillinger's dick in some?
I think that's one of them. It's in a jar somewhere.
Yeah, you have that.
I do. Yeah, it's framed.
I'm trying to remember some of the stuff that has been saved over the years. Maybe the listeners could help us out.
Yeah, his death mask. I know Dillinger's death mask is saved. They made a death mask of his face.
Oh wow! Is Mickey Rourke's original face anywhere? Where would that be? I think that might be in the Smithsonian.
So the book, you really haven't said what the book is about officially, because you said it started with you obsessing about movies in '95. You got out of it in '99.
It's about me being addicted to movies, having it fuck up my life. It fucked up my writing job at Mad TV because I was an insufferable asshole. It fucked up some relationships I had with people. I had a girl dump me with good reason because all I wanted to do was see. And then it was starting to affect my stand-up because I was trying to see a movie and then get to a stand-up gig. And almost was having car crashes. It was crazy. And then so I was like, I'm not enjoying these movies anymore.
It becomes a thing to do instead of something you wanted to
yes,
yeah.
It became like I would, and every Thursday I get the new LA Weekly and just looked at the movie, like, okay, I got to go see that. And it was just mapping out. That was my whole life.
It's an event.
How many movies do you think you've seen in your life?
Thousands. But I mean, at the worst, at one point, because I had them on the calendar. I saw 252 movies in a theater in 1 year. So that's just the whole. You're barely doing anything else.
Wow.
You're not even talking to people. And I was starting to look at the people that didn't come out of that hole, like the people that, like, I was 3 or 4 years into it, but I was seeing people at the New Beverly that were 2 decades into it.
Really?
And it did not look good.
They're just obsessed.
Just upset. They barely could relate to people anymore.
So in that year, you did 5 movies a week. 5 days a week, you're watching movies
somewhere. And also the guy that ran the New Beverly, on the day after the Phantom Menace, where I came back to see Sunset Boulevard, and I got my ticket, the guy Sherman Torgan who ran it said, "I thought you'd be handing me a screenplay by now." So even he was like, "You're doing this too much. Like, I'm glad you come here. I want you to come see movies. You shouldn't be seeing them this much. So you should be going and doing something."
I'm learning that this seems like it's a thing. It's not just you. There seems to be a whole bunch of people out there that do this, and it's their addiction.
There's a documentary called Cinemania. It's about these 5 cinemaniacs who live in New York. It is insane. These people. It's beyond even what I was doing. There's a woman in there, and they do it. It's a really well-made documentary where they start off with a guy, and you're watching him going, wow, this guy's nuts. And then they go to the next guy, you're like, oh, no, this guy's nuts. And then the third guy, and then the last person is this woman who is just bonkers. And she's been banned from, like, MoMA and stuff because she gets into fights because you got to tear her ticket the right way.
Oh God, another fucking one of those.
To like every screening, she has to have like 5 of the programs, and they go into her apartment, and it's just there's nowhere to sleep. It's all just stacked with every film calendar, film program, every giveaway cup, no.
She probably has some cool shit though.
Oh wait, yeah. I mean, if you want all of your all the giveaway Jurassic Park 2 cups from Burger King, she has them up in her pantry behind the giveaway cups for Batman Forever that Burger King did.
Is it a dirty apartment?
I was going to say you probably have to dig through all the cat poo to get to the good stuff.
I mean, I don't even know how dirty it is. I mean, there's no electricity in it, so when they're filming it, it's just the light from the camera, and it's literally going through this maze of things stacked up.
OCD.
It's so terrifying.
Unmedicated zilch.
Yeah, and I was getting towards that. I was heading there. I mean, it was all just going home and unmedicated zilch. You'd be a great therapist. So what's your prognosis? Unmedicated zilch.
Well, I think you just sold the book. We're going to talk about the book more after the break. But
there's some other stuff too. I mean, it's
I
not
look forward to reading this now.
You're not just going to be reading about me, like, and then I went to this movie.
No, but you talk about these movies though, like literally these Billy Wilder movies. And you really discuss them in a way that makes you want to go out and see these movies.
Yeah,
it's not boring. It's not like a list. it's like you're really talking about the movies, then it kind of digresses. Like I said, the one part went into the year of 1888, talking about fucking Jack the Ripper and Van Gogh and all this weird stuff, and then it goes back to the film. It's like the film is a jumping off place to talk about whatever you want to talk about, and then you come back to it. So it's not just a fucking list of movies.
Nice. No. All right. The book's called Silver Screen Fiend, Learning About Life from an Addiction to Film. It's Patton Oswalt's new book. You got book signings tonight at Barnes & Noble in Union Square at 7.
That's a good one, because it's freezing outside, but there's a lot of room in there to stand.
And then that's a really nice part.
You will not be outside.
And then Thursday, World Bookstore in Jersey City at 8 p.m.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson's going to be moderating that.
Who's that?
The most handsome actor on the planet.
Yeah, he's great.
It was me because we did that movie Young Adult together.
Oh, he was in Young Adult.
Was
he in Young Adult?
He was the object of Charlize's affection.
That guy. Yeah,
so the movie where I get to be shirtless against the most physically perfect woman on the planet, and then I get to be in other scenes with the most physically handsome man on the planet.
Wait, did you get to kiss her?
No, we don't kiss in the scene. We just we hug each other.
She's phenomenal.
She's amazing.
It's a great scene.
She used to want to date me.
Well, she didn't.
No, Jimmy, that's no.
It's true.
No.
So why are you looking around the room like that then?
She's an incredible. I mean, it was weird enough being in a nude scene with her, but it was way more stressful just sitting and acting with her because she's such an amazing actress. And it's that really amazing thing of they cut and then she's just herself and just talking normally and action and right back into the character. It's, there. That was us out in Palm Springs.
She's stunning.
Stunning.
She's a stunning woman. And then there's Patton. It looks like a fucking... like something your parents wrote her and said, our son has needs and would like you to put your arm around him.
No, know what I look like? I look like, and I use this term a lot, I look like I'm a little bridge troll, and if you answer my questions, you get this woman. Like, in the picture, I'm like, if you answer my questions, you may have a family. Like, she's under this curse.
Wow, is she pretty,
and you were absolutely great in that movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was great because I worked so hard at it because I knew I'd be in scenes with her.
Right. Well,
and she's beyond method to the point where it's just, boom, I'm in.
What happens after a film like that? Do you guys keep in touch here and there, or is it? You
know what? We text actually all the time because
really?
I was saying I texted her the other day. I'm like, if you can get me in early to a Mad Max screening, you know, I'll bring you a covered dish. Or it was just like the lamest offer to go see. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that new. You haven't seen the trailer for Fury Road?
I have not.
No.
Jesus Christ, guys!
I got 2 small kids.
I have no kids. I just haven't seen them. I've been busy.
Oh God!
I'm taking tap.
Holy fuck!
Jim's been working on his email list.
Yes.
No, it is.
They didn't show it before Big Hero 6. Those are the type of movies I'm getting to see these days.
Yes.
God,
let's see it.
How old is she?
Fuck
it.
35?
Just watch this fucking trailer, guys.
I love her.
You're still obsessed with movies.
No, but wait, just, okay, watch this trailer. All right? Jesus, I want to get in line now.
Motorcycle sound?
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
Fire and blood.
They haven't shown anything yet.
Road.
It's a road. Who cares?
Guys, shut up.
All right.
It's a Fury Road.
For gasoline.
World is almost out of water.
It's a desert. Bombs.
Oh, God, Opie.
What?
Big wheels.
Cares? Futuristic cars.
I'm sorry Billy Crystal's not in this. Just try to enjoy something new.
He is in this.
Whoa!
That's great. They ruined the car.
Whoa.
Everybody's gone out of their mind. You're not the only one, Max.
A world without hope.
Out here, everything hurts.
Without law. Uh-oh.
You want to get through this? Do as I say.
Without mercy.
Now pick up what you can and run.
How much longer?
Yeah, what's happening?
Swear to God.
From George
Guys are
Miller.
the worst.
What a lovely day!
Roll those men.
A lot of car crashes and things blowing up in dirt.
Fire.
Looks green screen. Tom Hardy. Charlize Theron. Nicholas Hoult.
A lot of hack stuff.
Well,
that movie's go
Fire,
to.
smoke.
When they don't have a good story.
Yeah, that's what you guys love.
It's like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Really, man.
Love a good story.
What about the love story? Does it have a good love story?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, this guy's zooming through the desert.
Would you?
Lots of smoke and
Wow,
fire. Apparently
wonderful.
a hazard. That's nice, the environment.
They wasted a lot of money on fire for this movie. Mad Max, Fury Road.
Where's Mel Gibson?
Summer 2015. See it in 2D and 3D. Why would you go 2D when you could go 3D?
I want to go see it in 3D.
Saving that money.
How old is Charlize Theron? She's 35, right? Around there?
Late 30s.
That picture of you and her depressed me. She's so beautiful.
I know, it is.
She's perfect.
Yeah.
I would probably date her.
What's doubly depressing, she's in that John Hamm level of depressing where it's like, you don't get to be really hot and also funny and smart, and like, you got to pick one. You don't get to have both.
We have neither.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
We're hoping for one.
Did one of you guys? So it's just like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah. I've seen her out at this restaurant that I go to sometimes, and
no, you haven't.
I actually have. Yeah, I won't say the name of it, but let's just say they serve fine food. And I've seen her there a few times, and she is quite a lovely woman in person.
She's very cool.
Everyone's kind of like, even I don't bother celebrities there. I've seen majors, no one bothers them. But I saw her, I was like, hi! Loved you in the Eileen Warmos thing.
And she's a big MMA fan.
Is she
really?
Yep.
That's what we're going to bond
So she's
over.
perfect.
There you go.
I never thought I'd date a guy like you. What do you think, Charlize? John Jones, Cormier. I thought Cormier gas. What'd you think?
We saw her once at NEW. She came in with that singer. Can you help me out on this one?
No, that wasn't her. Wasn't that Kate Hudson?
It was Dionne Warwick.
No, that was the Black Crowes thing with Chris Robinson. But
yeah.
It's Kate Hudson.
The Suicide song, On the Ledge.
Suicide's Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne.
It was a big song in the mid-90s.
Oh, On the Ledge, Don't Jump by Chuck Berry.
Jump,
the collective soul guy?
No. Standing on the ledge. It was done to the Blame It on the Rain theme.
I didn't think when I woke up, I didn't think I'd have to remember this today.
Peter Frampton.
It was a one-hit wonder.
No,
Ian Watkins. There's a baby on the ledge.
Billy Ray Jeffcoat. Gun in my mouth and a pocket full of pills. That one?
no.
No? Okay.
I'm telling you, Ian
Travis
Watkins.
knows. He's somewhere yelling it.
Yes.
No, I think Jen had it before with Peter Frampton, you said?
Yeah, Peter Frampton.
You said Peter Frampton?
Yeah.
But she came in with the guy, and we weren't.
Which guy?
We weren't supposed to acknowledge that she was on the couch.
No, you're wrong. That was Pam Anderson and Kid Rock.
She wasn't as famous as she is
Opie,
now.
that was
but
Kid
we
Rock
already
and
knew
Pam
who
Anderson.
she was.
That was Pam Anderson and Kid Rock.
90. I want to go 99.
That was Pam Anderson.
99-ish.
Pam Anderson and Kid Rock.
Fuck.
It was
The
Kid
guy-
Rock.
the group
Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind.
And Pam Anderson.
She was
Third Eye
It looks
Blind.
like she was seeing the lead singer, who was a dick.
I would have said to her, hey.
You want to trade up?
Exactly.
Would you like to trade up?
So what do you think of the, what do you think of Fedor not coming back, huh? Me and Charlize are going to have a lot to talk. I think she's with Sean Penn now, who she probably respects artistically a lot, but he's probably too cranky for her. She needs a fun-loving guy. A fun-loving, shorter man who appreciates MMA. And I do. I'll talk to her about that all day. Charlize, watch this video of these guys kicking me. See how brave I was?
I went to, when I was doing The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, they flew me out to Iceland to do some off-the-screen phone stuff with Ben Stiller because I'm talking to him on the phone. He wanted me there.
Wow.
So, hey, I'll go to
You
Iceland.
a trip to Iceland and talk to Ben Stiller on the phone?
So we
Why
went
did
out
he need you there before you get into
They're
the
friends.
story?
because we're friends, and
So he wanted to give you a
me
nice
in the-
trip to Iceland.
Well, it was a combination of he really did want me there because we were riffing stuff on the phone.
Okay.
And he just didn't want me because the connection to Iceland was really weird. So just to have me there off screen and talk. And also it's like, I get to go to Iceland.
Right.
So I go to
Did you go to Reykjavik?
I go to Reykjavik, but then we go to this town outside of Reykjavik where we filmed it that literally had no vowels in the name. It was like, and so I get there. We're at this hunting lodge. It's in the middle of nowhere, just on a glacier. So I go out for a walk. I just put my big shell coat on. I'm gonna go for a walk on this glacier. This will be beautiful. And I'm walking. I'm like, this is great. Like didn't have my headphones on, no phone service. I'm just like clearing my head. I'm getting away from. It's good to get away from Hollywood. That's the whole thing. Is that you're in LA all the time. All you're doing is thinking about what are people thinking. Now I'm all alone. This is beautiful. I'm actually having real thoughts. And I see this little dot on the horizon, like coming towards me, and I'm like just walking, like, oh, it's another person, and I keep walking, like, yeah, I gotta get away from Hollywood more. Maybe I should go up to Ojai and go hiking in the woods. And the person gets really, and it's Sean Penn. Hey, Patton, and then we talked about Breaking Bad for like 5 minutes, and then he goes, I'll see you back at the lodge. And he's so, like, so I'm out. I could not be more remote, and the guy runs into Sean Penn.
I would have said to him, do you still keep in touch with Viking and Tweety from Bad Boys? Did you really have soda cans in the pillowcase?
Viking and Tweety.
Who the fuck is Warren Jerome?
Yeah. So it was very strange. Yeah,
that's a great one. Was that with Charlize Theron there? I hear that they're an item.
Well, no, this was before. I don't think they were going out at that point.
Oh.
And then I went out to dinner with them, and me, Sean, and Ben went to dinner, and it was fun watching them both talk about being actors in New York in the early '80s and. Kind of humble bragging about everyone they hooked up with. And then,
oh, wow.
Or like who hooked up with more people. And then the producer was there. He's like, guys, no one hooked up with more people than Bruce Willis, who was bartending. He was this bartender at
some huge cock.
He just like apparently, even like all the actors were like, I can't get as much pussy as that goddamn bartender.
Wow.
He was huge, so it was like
got a big dick.
Yeah,
like, just like imagining that, like it's Sean Penn and Ben Stiller angling for something, and then Bruce Willis just kind of pops. Here's your drink, sweetie, and here's my number.
I would hate. What did you talk about? Like they're talking about banging all these hot actors in the '80s, and what were you?
What in the '80s? I was collecting Ralph Partha lead figures when I was playing Dungeons. Ralph Partha was the better lead figure. Grenadier models made some, but they weren't as detailed as Ralph Partha. And I had an entire orc troop. It was an orc war party, and I painted them. See, you spray primer on them first, and that brings out more detail. Boy, the early '80s were crazy, weren't
they? Someone overhearing that conversation relayed it to someone back home and said, "What an amazing night! Sean Penn and Ben Stiller were talking about fucking all these girls, but there was some guy at the table that just kept going, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow, you made a capital H with Phoebe Cates? That reminds me, I read the entire Stephen King novel The Stand in 2 days at my grandparents' house in Arizona. I wasn't supposed to be reading it, but I was a crazy 11-year-old.
Oh, I feel bad for you.
It was such a sad. It was just me watching these two dudes.
Patton, where else? Where could they go for the other book signings?
Well, they can go to
so many.
I know
it'll take us all day to go through this list.
Go to PattonOswalt.com. There's a great poster with all the book signings. I'm doing stuff in Washington D.C., doing 2 things in Chicago. But today I'm at Barnes and Noble. Thursday I'm at Jersey City at the World Bookstore. And then, of course, Friday you can see me at Carnegie Hall. There's still some tickets left.
You're just throwing that in there, are you?
And you can pop by Carnegie Hall.
Pop by,
I might
say
do
hi.
A couple. Yeah,
that's exciting.
I got the notebook. I'll be working on some of this stuff.
Can you
if you just want to see me, like, I don't know where this goes.
Notebook and a stool.
Notebook and a stool.
Oh, I don't know, Patton. I wouldn't do it there.
Really?
Humorless friend. Oh, I don't know, Patton. People work their whole lives to get there. Smell the roses. Enjoy.
The name of your new comedy special.
Yeah, Smell the Roses. Yeah,
Notebook
there's all
and a stool.
All the stuff is there. And then Saturday, I'll be at the Tower Theater in Philadelphia, which I'm very looking for. I've never done that, and I hear it's great.
I'm going to go see Patton Oswalt at Carnegie Hall Friday.
I'll put you on the list. I will put you on the list. You come backstage, that'd be great.
I don't want to bother you.
No. Oh,
can I have 6?
That's what I look. I don't really want to have a 6. That'd be great.
Yeah, me and my 8 friends don't want to bother you.
I'll have 6. I need 2 wheelchair seats. Right, that's cool, right?
Front row, please. More with Patton Oswalt, one of our favorites. Stay there.
Ahoy, mateys! Time to launch back onto the 7 seas with your favorite aqua adventurer, Captain Louis!
It was my first day in the boat. I just bought it, but it's this big fucking boat with 2 engines, and it's really complicated to drive. I took Chris Rock and my manager out on it. We went out to the Statue of Liberty, and there was this thing floating in the water. Chris saw it. He said, "What is that?" And it was this big thing, and it was dark. It was night. It was like 1 a.m. So it looked like, like a big round raft. That's what it looked like to me. And I yelled over, "Hey, is anyone in that boat?" And then we noticed that it was coming towards us, like kind of with some speed, and Chris just goes, "Get the fuck away from that thing." Like, it was creepy. So I backed away from it, and I put a light on it, and it looked like a giant manhole cover sticking out of the river. This was the weirdest night fucking ever. And it's right by the Statue of Liberty. It's like, I don't know, 20 feet across, and it's moving. It's leaving a wake. So I call up, and then this woman came on and says, "New York Harbor Coast Guard, give me your phone number." So I give her my number. This guy calls. He goes, "Describe it as well as you can." I go, "I don't want to cause a problem, but it looks like the hatch of a submarine, and it's headed towards Lower Manhattan." That's what I'm seeing, and I'm sure it's not that, but my main concern is it's not lit, and it could cream anything that hits, it's going down. And the guy goes, "All right, well, I'll call a boat and send them to you." So he hangs up, and like 20 minutes later, there's nobody there. So anyway, I call back, and they're not sending anybody, and I at one point, I got crazy, and I was like, "You are the Coast Guard, and I am saying to you now, there's a submarine attacking Lower Manhattan." I'm saying it, and then they're like, "We're trying to get park police over here." I'm like, "Send a fucking helicopter." And he kept asking me to hover. We kept hovering around it and stuff, and then finally this big police boat comes and shines like a massive light on it, and then he calls me on the radio. "Hey, Captain, are you the one who reported this?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "It's a mooring ball. It's been there since 1965. Mooring balls are so you don't have to throw an anchor down. You just hook up to it." And I go, "What if you don't see it?" And the guy goes, "Well, most people navigating those waters know what the fuck they're doing. I have no business being on the water." And I would have hit it if I hadn't stopped at the Statue of Liberty to show it off to Chris and them.
Arrgh! Maybe not quite the adventure you were looking for. Well, shiver me timbers and all that bullshit. Pegleg! This fucking parrot just took a shit on me! God damn it!
And now Opie and Jim are back.
We gotta talk about this on the air. Patton Oswalt in studio, one of our favorite people. He's got a new book out called Silver Screen Fiend, Learning About Life from an Addiction to Film. I'm definitely going to read this book. You really sold it well today on our show.
Okay, good.
You got book signings, Barnes & Noble, Union Square here in New York City at 7 p.m. Tomorrow, World Bookstore in Jersey City at 8 p.m. And then a few tickets, not many, for Carnegie Hall on Friday. I'm going to that, too. It's going to be like a Patton Oswalt week for me.
Yeah, Opie's bringing the polyphonic spree with him, so I got to have 25.
I don't even think you'll see me, sir. I'll be there.
Oh.
I will pay for my own ticket.
Okay.
And I'm not going to bother you on your big night backstage.
Are you kidding? I will comp.
We'll figure it out.
It's ridiculous. We'll figure it out.
Anyway, during the break, man, I am so flattered. Patton Oswalt talked about two things.
Yeah.
He's been doing a lot of interviews for the book, and he's been listening to or watching and listening to YouTube clips of this show to get him through some of the press he's been dealing
a lot
with.
of the press I'm doing is, can you write something for us? Can you email interviews and stuff?
Yeah.
And I want to be detailed, so I have now listened to the Joe Piscopo trilogy. Opie and Anthony, Joe Piscopo trilogy. That's a 4-hour YouTube thing. I've listened to it 3 times. That is my...
That's 12 hours.
That's the wire of awful, of just amazingly hilarious douchey radio, of you guys discovering Joe Piscopo's Showtime special. And there's a moment, it's the 4:50 mark. That's how well I know this thing, where you guys are listening to the promo for his Club Piscopo thing, and he's singing Mac the Knife and New York, although he's going NJ. Remember? It's all about New Jersey. Come on.
Of course it is.
And so at one point when he's doing Mac the Knife, and he's singing it normally, and then he goes, what if this was sung by Rodney Dangerfield? And Jim says, and he says it in a very specific way, he goes, "Oh no!" But he's not saying, "Oh no," like, "Oh God, this sucks," or "This is," because this is the most insulting part, by the way, if you're Joe Piscopo, because way worse than you guys going, "This is stupid, this is so douchey." Jim is genuinely concerned. That's what's so insulting. Right. He has the tone of a middle-aged woman that's just watched a baby crawl out into traffic. Right. And like, "No, we got to stop this. No. Right. So that's what's so brutal. Like, he's reacting like this kid. We have to do something. Right. Someone has to do something.
We have to find a time machine and go back and make him not do that.
It's like, for a second, he stops making fun of him. I'm talking about the Joe Piscopo thing.
I was listening.
And gets genuinely like, we have to do something. We can't just...
Right.
He's acting like he's the one guy while Kitty Genevieve's being killed, like, we've got to do something, people. Why are we just sitting here? Like, he's almost angry at you and Ant for not doing anything to help this poor man.
I don't remember the moment, but I know the emotion of what you mean. Like, it's just
it was too late at that point. What are you going to do?
Yeah, and you're the one that as you're watching it, and you get it's an amazing character study where Ant is just all in, like, screw this is douchey, and you are discovering it for the first time, and you are the comedian who, this is really awful, but I kind of sympathize. I can only make fun of this so far because I've had sets like this, and I can imagine my career maybe doing this. If everything goes wrong for me, I could. So there's this, like, I want to laugh, and you're the one that keeps saying, and it comes up a lot in the 4 hours. There's just this laugh, and then it's poor Joe. Right. Like, he just
But the difference is when you guys bomb or try something that doesn't work, you acknowledge, you go, oh, fuck, okay.
Right.
He probably has done that bit 200 times. He's probably went to the danger field 200 times.
There's those moments where he literally will say some joke like, I made this movie Dead Heat, and that's what it did at the box office. And, and then he just goes, but so anyway. Like, you hear him doing it, and at that point, all of you, the fun stops at because all of you are literally going, "Oh God,
it started to hurt.
Joe, please!" And but the moment it's at the 450 mark where Jim goes, "Oh no," is amazing.
Can we find that real fast?
We have
maybe
to stop this.
I got to find this real fast.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, we finally put that on the Opie and Anthony podcast, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it's not the 4-hour version?
The 4-hour version.
It is, but it's all chopped down. Like, no commercials, no
and
anything.
I'll play it, and I'll have it go in and out. Like, there are parts I'll turn up, and then when I got to write, I'll have it low so I can still hear it.
Yeah.
You can hear the stuff going on. It's just, it's
one of my favorite.
It's epic.
It's one
amazing.
of my favorite radio shows we did in the last, I don't know, at least 5 years. That is probably the number one bit. We're on iTunes and all that with our Opie and Anthony podcast.
Yeah.
We put up the Piscopo thing a few weeks ago, finally, right?
Oh, guys.
You really got to check it out.
Listen to this moment when Jim realized,
Jesus, like scarlet pillows.
Oh, you got to go back a little bit.
Go back, Sam. Stop ruining it.
Okay.
From me, it's just a
Here we go.
I'm Dix Bentley. How long are you going to do it all day?
Who
You're going
enjoys
to do it all day.
Who enjoys
And then he was talking about, he's like, my mom,
Where's
oh
this clip?
boy, she wanted me to play the piano.
Hey, wait a second.
And she wanted me to play music like this. And then he gets behind the piano, and he starts playing like piano.
Well, where's that clip? That's the one we want to play today.
Oh, fuck yeah. That was on Showtime, though.
Oh,
it was a Showtime special. But he stopped going from an impersonation to act.
Oh no.
He's genuinely concerned. He's not.
I love that. I love you picked up on that.
At that moment,
it's so subtle.
It's not funny for Jim anymore. It's that we got it, guys. No, we may have gone too far. This guy's in trouble.
Watching a man about to humiliate himself for real.
You're a middle-aged woman watching a baby crawl into traffic.
Does he still take our phone calls? Why don't we call him and see what he's doing today?
I think he's doing radio now.
Is he? Well, all right, let's do a simulcast. Get him some fucking people.
That was what I found so uncomfortable. It was the little chit chat in between.
Yes.
Like, you guys don't mind if I do this, do you?
Right.
Like this little pandering to the audience. Like, you don't need to do that.
Right. Well,
and the shadow on the wall really enraged me. His lighting people should be executed.
Well, there's that other moment where you say, anytime a performer asks people to stay with me on this, you know something awful's coming, and then you go, the only time I've ever done that was when I was doing an animal fucking bit. So you're going, you're allowed to say that if you're going to talk about fucking animals, but you can't do it if you're going to sing a song to your babysitter.
Right.
Oh,
you're not allowed to do. Remember that? So there was that. I just love that was your distinction as a comedian of, oh no, animal fucking, that you got to stay with me. I've gone far enough, but no, he did not go. I'm sorry. I
haven't heard anything.
I don't mean to be.
I love that Patton calls it the Piscopo trilogy.
Well, yeah,
and it's now on our podcast. If you go to iTunes and stuff, a great.
It is the Lord.
Great time to plug our podcast.
It's the Lord of the Rings of douchiness.
Oh, thank you.
It is an epic. It's a fucking epic.
And then you also said during the break that you're a huge obsessed fan of Jocktober too.
Yes, I think I've listened to. I've gone through
You're
all
a big
of the
star.
Jocktober
You shouldn't
ones
be obsessed with Jocktober
because it's so. I mean, it's this fascinating world. Like I'm always amazed because I guess it's because I listen to so many podcasts and so much satellite radio that I am amazed when I see. And by the way, there are a lot of good terrestrial radio shows, but when you still see stuff like that going on, and you're amazed at that, like, how is that still
I don't know.
happening? Who's listening to that?
I don't know. Well, I mean, they hire these people, and they, for the most part, they give them a very good, nice salary, and then they throw all the stuff at them that what they're supposed to do instead of saying, "Hey, you're creative radio people. Try to come up with your own stuff."
Yeah, I remember there was a show I used to do back in, and you guys used to make fun of these guys, but I kind of liked them.
Oh no,
no.
John and Jeff?
No, I don't know. Don and Mike back in D.C.
We're okay with them now.
And they would make fun of, they would openly on the air, they were given this big 3-ring notebook called the Electric Weenie, and it was full of funny things for DJs to do, like suggestions, and the manager was like, I want you to do stuff out of this thing. And they would openly read the stuff and go, okay, here's what they want us to. This is there was a thing called the donut toss, where the DJs go on the roof of the station and people drive by with buckets, and you're supposed to throw donuts and bring the listeners. But it was literally it was like the most humiliating, like treating the DJs like animals and the listeners like animals. It was all the stunt stuff, stunt boys, and
I gotta tell you, I mean, Don and Mike were not bad radio guys whatsoever.
Yeah.
The problem was that they threw us together to battle, basically, because they gave us their slot in Washington, because it was part of.
Did?
And they took middays because they wanted to be on in New York.
Yeah, so it was a whole thing, and then they were kind of angry at us because we took their spot. It was and then it just turned into a huge radio battle. But if I was being completely honest, I never thought they were hacks or anything like that.
And they were the first people I remember on the radio when I was growing up in D.C. because they were on
JFK?
That was later. There was another morning show they had. They were the first radio guys I ever remember hearing where they would get on the air and be upset. Or just WAVA?
Out of Virginia, yeah.
Out of Virginia. They would be on there and be upset and go, I'm having a crappy day.
Right.
This job sucks. I'm yelling at them. I'm like, oh, and that made me actually happier. Like, what made me tense and unhappy were these guys going, we're having the 6 a.m. party. Like, you're not having a fucking party. It's Thursday morning. This is awful. Yeah. So when I was going to school and driving to school and having a guy going, I'm just gonna kill the manager. My boss is an idiot. I'm angry at you. I yelled at my wife last night. That actually made me, oh, hey.
Some real talk.
And we're getting through the day now, and they're trying to make that funny.
I remember during the Don and Mike days, Attention at WNEW, when they were coming up once in a while doing the midday show, we were going in at 3 o'clock, and I remember we had a big war with them. We couldn't even speak to them. But I remember feeling really, Don Geronimo one time walked out of the studio, and as he walked out, he tripped, and he fell right on his face.
in
front of me. And he was a heavy guy. And then he jumped up and he looked all sheepish. And I felt really, there was the one moment in that time where I just felt like, I was like, you all right? He's like, yeah. And it was like a nice moment between us in the middle of all, and then we started, but I just remember feeling really bad for him when he fell that one time. Like, that would suck. In front of people who hate you.
In different circumstances, I think we actually would have really got along.
Made love.
Well, what's weird,
but we were thrown together in this weird fucking world.
It just was weird because I heard you guys on earlier shows going after them. I'm like, they're the only guys I know that would also love like a Jocktober thing, because all they would do, even then they would play tapes of not of bad radio shows, but of guys they were trying to get on. There was this guy they were called The Maze. He called himself The Maze, and he would send in these tapes trying to become and he was basically autistic. So he would make these amazing tapes of like the show he wanted to do, of just incredible music behind him and sound effects. And goes, hello, I am the Maze. I came out of my mother's womb. I had a tuxedo on, holding a drink, saying I'm ready to party. But they weren't even making fun of him. Like, this is actually way more exciting than it's going, hey, we're having a big old party. Like, this is way more interesting.
Pat, and I've said it for years. I would throw all those guys on a radio station and just not even give them a script or anything. Just turn the mics on.
Let's see what happens.
I think it would be amazing, but no one has the balls to do that.
No, that's so frustrating too. And they don't know why terrestrial radio is dying, and that's if you would let it go and let these guys do what they
Their
want to
thing.
do. It would people are start going, did you hear what the
Right,
hell
right.
happened yesterday?
Yes. Yeah. We did Jocktober yesterday. You missed it by a day.
God, and I was on a plane all day. That's
I keep forgetting that you want to actually do a Jocktober with us.
I'm going to try next year to be here in October and do a job because those are.
We'll do it whatever. I told Sam yesterday it went so well we should do one like once every other month or something.
Okay,
just,
good.
just throw it in there.
Next time I'm in, I'll let you guys know way ahead of time. I would love to do October.
We'll go to some of our favorites.
We did Todd yesterday. He has a new co-host. You know Scott and Todd. Scott
He told me the whole story. The Scott and Todd ones are also fascinating because it's a whole story of the backstory of Scott and then Todd, who you knew, but he made this move and then that did, and it's amazing. And you pick apart. It's like listening to two psychiatrists, like doing an evaluation on a couple of patients. Like, okay, here's what's happening here.
Right.
You see how Todd just cut him off. Todd hates him. He's not listening anymore. Scott realizes he's being hated, so now he's trying. Like, you see all the little power plays going on. It's as good as The Wire or Deadwood. As far as watching characters go at each other, it's amazing.
Well, that's an amazing story because everyone thought Scott Shannon was done. He's a big radio legend. Todd's pushing him out the door because he's wanted the show for himself, and then they wish him luck in such a fucking passive-aggressive way, like, well, good luck, and you're invited back here anytime, Scott.
Didn't he say he'll be on CBS now, the oldies, but that's his wheelhouse?
That's his wheelhouse. and then Todd goes and says, well, now it's time to reinvent radio. Not just his show or himself. He goes, it's time to reinvent radio. So you fast forward, Scott Shannon goes to CBS FM and sounds way better than he ever did with Todd, and is kicking ass. I think he's in second place now in mornings or something like that. He's in second place, and Todd, who is supposed to reinvent radio, the ratings dropped, and he's in like 18th, 20th place for New York.
He's the wheelchair lady in the marathon. Like there's a police car illuminating.
Right.
That'd be like Daryl Hall's like, I got to go away from John Oates, and then John Oates just blows up so huge.
You know, I got a couple things I want to do for you. You got to play the Scott Shannon stuff too. Then we become friends with Scott Shannon after all. Yes, after all
the stuff you were.
Now we love the guy.
I want to see the boat movie.
Not only are we friends, he called the show.
I want to see the boat movie.
He sent me an old photo of Kiss.
Yeah.
He emailed me an interview we did with Paul Stanley. Like he's great. Yeah, Scott's great. I've done his show.
He called our show and killed for 10 straight minutes.
No kidding.
Killed. And then
I want to do his show now.
Then he voiced Jocktober for us. He was the official voice for Jocktober.
See, that's okay. That's the other thing too about Jocktober, which is so brilliant. Any of these guys that you made, like, the whole oh my God, who was Maxwell in Cleveland? That guy.
Oh God,
he's got Benjamin Bornstein. He's also got another name.
And Punt.
Well, here's the thing. If they would just acknowledge, just like I do all the time when you do something dumb and start acknowledging that, oh, this is lame what they're making me do, and start fighting it, then you're great. Like, you're great. So the fact that Scott Shannon is now owning it, going, oh no, I'll be the goddamn voice of Jocktober. It's like there you go.
He owned it.
You know,
but then. Oh, you have the intro? Listen to this.
I got to hear this.
I got to play it for Patton today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Time to travel the country and explore what radio has become. A barren wasteland of holes, acts, fugitives, and funsters.
That's so bad.
Wow. Yes, we are celebrating all the 2 for Tuesday playing, stunt boy having, fake prank call making, parody song singing, phony laughing, prep burger loving, broadcasting boobs from all across the USA. So children, strap in and welcome to Jocktober.
How great is that?
Oh, that's the best.
And he did all that stuff.
He
did all that stuff.
The Benjamin Bornstein thing, the part that made me kind of sad. Again, that was also amazing. Just call yourself Benjamin Bornstein and just if you have a douchey name, be cool and then make that name cool.
Right.
Everyone that's ever been cool in history didn't start out with a cool name. They just owned it and then made that name suddenly cool. But one of his radio names, this one I kind of felt bad for him because as a fat geek I understand this impulse. One of his radio names was Max Logan. And what I realized was, he took it's Mad Max, and then Wolverine's name in the comics, his name is Logan. So he was like, what are the two? So that's like the uncoolest guy. Thinking, what's the two coolest names?
Yeah, this is ferocity squared.
Yeah, and so I'll just put those together, and I'll be. My rare name. Let me think for a second. It's gonna be Snake Fury. Yeah, like, guy, don't.
What was the other one he used? He used another one too. There was another. Can we look it up? Yeah, we have no. I mean, that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I don't want to see the guy fired.
When I saw that it was Max Logan,
we left him alone.
Yeah, but I also felt bad.
We do move on eventually.
He stopped fucking with us, and he was unreasonable to fuck with us because we really hadn't done anything to him. It wasn't like we never started anything with him, and he was just kind of coming after us saying, I'm not funny. And so it's like, what do you want us to do? And not respond?
I'm saying I've done shit like that when I was in my teens, like trying to think of what's a cool name.
Right.
How do I
make myself cool?
No, just look, Patton Oswalt's a shitty name. Just try to make that cool. Work with what you got. That'll be way cooler than if you try to go, I'm gonna be Clint Stallone. No, you're not.
The other thing we could play for you, we played it yesterday.
I don't want to make you repeat stuff. I will listen to it.
No, because I love the reaction. This is fun for me. I'm not even thinking of the listeners at this point. We got to replay.
We could really say that any day of the week.
We got to play for Patton the big relaunch of Todd again.
Oh. Can I hear that?
You mean the original from a year ago?
Yeah, so
it's uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable.
This is Todd by himself. Like,
so
this is a new thing.
Todd gets his way and kicks Scott out the door and just assumes Scott is now going to fail or retire or whatever.
Right.
And Scott turns around and just becomes massive. But before he became massive, no one knew that was happening. Todd is like, all right, now it's my show. It's time to make my statement. And this is what he did.
It's good.
Is this a cell phone
This
ad?
radio station has been home to some of the greatest broadcasts in the history of our industry. The ghosts of legends walk these hallowed halls.
What is he? No. This is what you play. No, this is what you play when someone's died. This is
We're about to.
I know. Holy shit! How does that get you pumped to listen to the radio?
This is why I gotta you haven't heard anything yet.
It's dramatic.
Jesus Christ.
Jimmy's face.
And again,
you're having the same reaction Jimmy did. Like, no, don't do this to yourself.
But no. But you can do this. Okay, when you guys, when you used to open the show and you would play Ennio Morricone's "The Ecstasy of Gold" from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly,
right? It
was hilarious because you were doing it as a joke, we're going to play the most epic music we can find, and then follow it with, hey, fuck off. There's no turn here.
I think you're the first person that got that.
Oh, that was amazing.
No one else ever said it
You're
that
doing
way.
this huge epic,
Thank
here
you.
we go, and then it would just cut to, here's Opie and Anthony. And then you'd do the thing from
we would
Mondo
start by
Topless.
saying how miserable we are or something. Thank you.
And then you'd play the, let's, enough of this palaver, let's get the,
Thank you.
They just went from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly to Mondo Topless.
Right.
They're totally making fun of themselves.
Okay, good.
Yeah, please, I got to hear
no
more
one
of
has
this.
ever said it that way.
Jesus.
All right, go ahead.
This radio station has been home to some of the greatest broadcasts in the history of our industry. The ghosts of legends walk these hallowed halls.
So, okay, dead people. So now he's mentioned the people have died. Here we go, guys. Rock and roll.
You're so uncomfortable.
Jesus.
There weren't legends that walked that hall, really. Good broadcasters, certainly.
I know.
A few good broadcasters that had a nice career for themselves. There weren't any real over-the-top legends over there.
There were guys that talked into mics, and then they retired and their bodies shut down.
Nah, it's more than that.
These guys.
I'll wait till you hear.
Here we go. Come on.
The ghosts of legends walk these hallowed halls, and the whispers of greatness can be heard at every sunrise.
Wait, stop.
Every sunrise.
Also, that's a horrible thing. Their ghosts don't want to be stuck at the fucking radio station. They want to be up, wandering the heavens or the universe.
Or at least stuck in the Caribbean or something.
Yeah, exactly. No, these guys are near the coffee machine.
Right.
The one toilet that doesn't quite flush. That's where the ghosts of legends are.
I couldn't even name a few of the legends of PLJ. I really couldn't.
Jim Kerr, Pat St. John.
Who cares?
But I guarantee you, they don't want to be there. They don't want to be haunting that fucking place.
Pat St. John's a great DJ.
Oh, good for
Rocky
Pat.
Allen.
Rocky Allen.
That's what he did. Here's another
sure.
record. Dumb voice. Fuck all those guys. So tired of old radio guys. You know, like really, fucking. All they do is make up a fake voice, fake personality. Here's a song. Fuck you.
Play more. I got to hear more of this.
Talking over the fucking beginning of the music. They always did that shit.
Ramping to post is the most evil thing. I want to hear the opening of "Gimme Shelter." Don't talk until he starts singing. Sorry, go ahead.
As a radio guy that had to do that for many years,
you had to.
You had how many seconds it was, so I set for you.
I did Mike O'Mara's podcast, and we did a contest who could ramp to post, and he is frighteningly good.
He's good,
and he did it in the douchiest way he possibly could.
Can he do it cold or
absolutely? No, the guy, he never knew what song the guy was going to play. He would just hit it, and he would do it, and he would not only do it perfectly, he would do the douchiest. And it was hilarious, but I was like, what a horrible thing to be great at. He goes, I know, it's awful.
It's one of his podcasts?
Yeah, the Mike O'Mara podcast. There's the one that I'm the guest on.
Oh, the Mike O'Mara podcast. I'm sorry. I thought you were... Wow, I was thinking Mark Maron that whole fucking time. I'm sorry.
No.
Mike O'Mara. Okay, yeah.
No, Mark would never talk over the instrumental.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised
he
by
would
that.
be angry at
Mark,
that.
you claim to be frenemies with in the book.
We are frenemies. We are always... Oh, we're always at each other's throats.
All right, let's get...
come on.
Let's get this over with.
And the whispers of greatness can be heard at every sunrise. Yet there are some people who say that what we're attempting to do can't be done. That you can't save a dying industry or reinvent a medium whose time has seemingly passed. They believe that satellite and digital radio have already robbed us of our audience and that our best days are behind us. Well, I got news for you. These battle-tested microphones could tell 1,000 stories.
Battle-tested microphones.
Battle-tested? What? Battle-tested. Pudgy guys in flannel.
Eating donuts.
Eating donuts. and hitting the cough button while they swallow. And then, all right, here's some Judas Priest.
And then doing a fugitive lead-in with plaque breath. Fucking old tartar breath. That's nice.
Does he think he's giving the speech at the end of Independence Day?
Right.
This
was almost a year ago, about 11 months ago.
Well, he does quote a speech, which is inspirational.
Oh yeah, wait till you hear what he quotes.
No,
you're a movie fan. Let's see if you get it.
Oh, here we go.
All right,
get it.
All right.
Well, I got news for you. These battle-tested microphones could tell 1,000 stories, but none greater than the unwritten story about to be told. And I make you this promise on the 24th day of February 2014. I say to those people and others like them, you are wrong. And here's why. As I speak to you just after 6 a.m. on a typical Monday morning, somewhere out there is a mom who's been up all night with a sick kid.
Wait, what? 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 Are you fucking... Hang on. A mom is up, her kid has the croup, so what she's thinking at 6 a.m. is, I need a Journey 3-fer. But that's what I need right now. My kid is coughing up his lungs. I hope somebody can play Any Way You Want It, followed by Don't Stop Believin', followed by fucking
Let's go
Stone in Love.
Oh, Stone in Love. Good choice.
Stone in Love.
That would be the third.
That would be the third one. Jesus Christ. Keep playing more. Oh, God.
Gets me pumped.
Is there more? Or is that...
boy, is there.
Every morning we hear this.
Somewhere out there is a mom who's been up all night with a sick kid. Or a dad who's coming home from his second job who just wants to take a minute to laugh with someone who feels like family. I believe they want to know that the people in this room feel what they feel, live what they live, and see what they see. And you can't do that in some windowless, colorless, passionless makeshift studio that used to be a coat closet. I, for one, don't believe that the people of the tri-state area want to listen to some dillweed who doesn't know the difference between a TV show and the real Jersey Shore.
Wait a minute! Hang on. So, wait, stop. By this guy's logic, somebody listening on the radio can tell the difference between a radio, so in his mind, a guy sitting in a studio in a radio station sounds different than a guy broadcasting from his it's a human voice. It doesn't matter.
I think he was taking a shot at like satellite radio because there's a lot of tiny little studios that are windowless and all that. But who gives a fuck?
No one cares what the size of the studio.
I know. It's not. If you're like, listen, if I order a hamburger, I want to know it was cooked in a kitchen where they painted the walls green and people were wearing 3-piece suits. I I don't want it in some. It doesn't fucking matter.
And that you could see outside.
What is he talking
It has to
about?
have windows.
Like the guy is coming home from work going, hang on, I need to laugh for a second. This guy doesn't have a window. God damn it! Like he doesn't matter. Holy shit!
And then he wraps it up nice for you.
Okay, here we go.
I, for one, don't believe that the people of the tri-state area want to listen to some dillweed who doesn't know the difference between a TV show
Whoa, I can't believe they
and
didn't
a real
believe that.
Jersey Shore. So to paraphrase a scene from one of my favorite movies, this is our opportunity to rise from the ashes and grab glory.
Fuck.
We are
New York!
We are
New Jersey!
We are
Long Island!
We are
Connecticut!
We are you. Turn off your Spotify, shut down your Pandora, and you can't be SiriusXM. New York's
boom, body blow.
And that's why we hit back with nukes.
Oh my god, you can't be serious, XM.
Right.
It's literally the most uncomfortable thing I've heard in my entire life.
It really is. That
Ever.
it's like
wow.
What we read about Ian Watkins today was easier and more palatable than this is.
I'm literally.
He's quoting "We Are Marshall."
No, I know.
Oh,
that,
okay,
and by the way, he's quoting a movie about a town that their team was killed
in the plane crash. Yeah.
and so he's equating.
He's just a radio host who should have been.
Yeah, he's a guy.
So how does it end? Is that it? We are you, and that's it.
That's
No, there's a tiny bit.
Let me hear just quickly, just to get to
shut down your Pandora,
Oh, you didn't have to.
and
All
you
right.
can't be SiriusXM.
Oof.
New York's hometown radio station is back. It's time to show them how it's done.
So that was 10.5 months ago, and right after he played that, he did the same shitty radio show he has been doing. The only difference, Scott's out of the picture. He didn't reinvent anything. He didn't reinvent his show.
Didn't add a single new- no.
Absolutely nothing.
Well,
They play more music.
Well, I'm saying 10.5 months ago.
He didn't. You can't say he didn't add anything.
What?
Meatballs.
He did bring in meatballs.
He brought meatballs to the show.
Oh, well, hey, look, when I'm up all night with my daughter when she's sick, I'm like, please, God, I want to hear somebody eating meatballs.
No,
Even
Pat.
better.
What?
The person's name was Meatballs.
No.
So after all that,
No, out there.
oh, after all that, he just went back to what everyone else has been doing and failing at, including himself. So then his ratings dropped drastically. Scott took off, showing that he wasn't the problem.
Yeah.
And now, as we sit here, and that's why we did Jocktober yesterday, they brought in this woman, Jade, to now help him out.
No, they brought in
I love this storyline.
Okay, here's what I hate about, you call them radio holes. When they bring in, it's so shitty to women to put them in the position, because how many truly funny, ballsy, amazing women that we know, Bonnie McFarlane, Amy Schumer.
Thank God you said Bonnie.
All these, no,
you saved me a lot of fucking tweets.
No,
today.
I'm just saying all the. I mean, I can name like 50 hilarious women: Shelby Farrow, Morgan Murphy. All these people just boom, 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 boom. But they hire this woman, but instead of letting her be just as outrageous and crazy, her job is to go, now guys,
Right.
hey. So that's the only role that they're, and that's what leads to idiots going, so women aren't funny. Well, that's because there's these fucking dumbass program directors that don't let them come on. I mean, you listen to Bonnie's show when she's going after Rich.
I love it.
It's fucking amazing.
They're on tonight.
Yeah. It should, I mean, a lot of these shows, it should be a guy going, what the hell are you, what did you just say? Like that.
Right.
If they really let them do what the hell they wanted to do. But like you said, there's this old format and they don't want to change it. But that's how we always do. We have the woman here doing.
Right.
Don and Mike got stuck with someone like that for a little while at WAVA. And literally they would do the show promo and she's like, I'm just here to keep these guys in line.
I like that.
That was literally her line.
I think that's important. What happens is the boys go too far.
Yeah, but every all the funniest people on Twitter are all women, by the way. The most outrageous shit. If you follow Jocelyn Plums's Twitter feed and tell me that women not only are not funny, aren't insanely offensive and hilarious. Go read Jocelyn Plum's
How do you
tweets.
say this girl, Megan?
Megan Amram.
She's
Holy
hilarious.
Shit.
Really? She's very fucking funny.
Oh my God. I can eat whatever I want and never get married.
Yeah, she's a really good fucking tweeter.
And there's another one called /Lean, and another one, Adrienne Earhart.
Mm-hmm.
Adrienne Earhart had this amazing tweet where she said, my waiter in this Mexican restaurant just brought my food to the only other blonde woman here. Now I understand. Oh, wait, that's not my waiter.
Wow.
That's funny.
That's fucking brilliant.
So just shit like that, just bam, bam.
You know who makes me laugh too? A funny one. She's a porn girl. I can't remember. She's oh my God, David Cho's co-host on his podcast.
Oh, David Cho, the artist, the graffiti
Yes,
guy?
he has a podcast. And
I didn't know he had a podcast.
Yeah, and he has a porn girl who's his co-host, and she is fucking hilarious on Twitter. She's like an Ivy League school educated girl. She's really from New York.
And I bet on his podcast she's not there to keep him in line.
Oh no, she's awesome.
Why don't these? Here's another thing.
Asa Akira.
If they want to bring in female listeners, hire somebody fucking outrageous. And have have nobody trying to control anything. That's how a show pops.
And they sit around in regular radio and they don't understand why the whole industry collapsed.
Yeah,
they don't get it, and they're still doing the same mistakes,
same bullshit.
But we're.